Hi, my name is Hannah Day, and this class is going to help you with anxiety and depression. You need a yoga mat, a blanket or a beach towel, and 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have 2 yoga blocks, 2 stacks of books the same height works great. And you also need a yoga bolster. If you don't have a yoga bolster, a nice firm pillow is perfect. To start today, we want to sit on our folded up blanket. And if this doesn't feel comfortable for your body, you can sit up on this pillow or even on a chair or a couch. So the first pose to help with depression and anxiety is easy pose. So you're going to cross your legs and sit up nice and tall, finding the sit bones, so rocking back and forth. And we'll place our palms down on the thighs. And the key to this pose is to find a nice straight spine up. So you want to reach that straight spine up and ground down through our sit bones as we draw belly button to the spine. Shoulders begin to relax, jaw softens, and we're going to focus on our breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Full breath through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Eyes can be opened, eyes can be closed, whatever your body feels comfortable doing. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Think of this pose as grounding you in your space. You're taking roots in your space. Nothing can uproot you. You are grounded. And the mantra we are going to weave throughout class, I invite greater mental health into my body. And the mantra really helps our brain focus on something else. I invite greater mental health into my body. Focusing on the inhale in, full breath out. One more like that. Inhale in. Full breath out. If your eyes were closed, open them as you open the palms. Inhale, float the hands up. They can either come to the side or forward, whatever's more comfortable. And then as you exhale, open palms down. Inhale, reach out to the sides or forward, whatever is more comfortable. With the palms open and down, ground your energy. Exhaling fully. Keep this breathing pattern. Inhale, rise. Exhale. 2 more times. Find your rhythms of inhales and exhales. And grounding palms down to the thighs. Pause here, shoulders relaxed, draw belly in, reach that spine tall. I am grounded, nothing can uproot me. And then drop chin to chest. Big breath in. Exhale, right ear rolls to right shoulder. If it feels comfortable for your body, you're going to take your left fingertips to the earth beside you. Full breath in. Through the nose, full breath out. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. If it's okay, crawl your fingers back, find another spot. And if this isn't comfortable, bring your hand back. Inhale in. Full breath out. Find another spot, crawl your fingers. Inhale in. Full breath out. And last time, find another spot. Inhale in. Exhale, if your fingers were on the ground, crawl them back to the thigh, bringing chin to chest. Head is heavy, full breath in. Exhale, roll left ear to left shoulder. And then we'll do it on this side too. See if the fingertips can come to the ground. If that doesn't feel comfortable, bring them back up. Full breath in. And exhale through the mouth. Find another spot where your fingertips crawling back. Maybe inhale in. Full breath out. Find another spot. Inhale in. Full breath out. And one more spot. Inhale in. Full breath out, bringing your fingers up if your hand was not on the thigh, and then we'll bring chin to chest. Full breath in. And exhale, let's lift our head up. Nice and slow. Bring your hand onto your knees, and we'll round back here, chin to chest. Finding this nice reach backwards with your spine. Now roll over your sit bones, release your hands on the knees and open through the chest. Nice and slow, maybe looking up. Exhale, round back. This time we'll bring our back of our hands to touch, chin to chest. Inhale, roll over the sit bones, open through the chest, creating space in the heart. Exhale, round back, chin to chest. Keep this rhythm going too. Inhale to lift. Exhale to release. Inhale to lift. And release. Last time. Inhale to lift and open the chest. Maybe look up. Exhale, rounding back. Back of hands touch. And then bring your hands back onto the knees, sitting up tall here. We're going to start to stir up in our pelvic floor. So imagine your KitchenAid mixer and you're mixing up nice and slow, mixing up some cookie batter or something. And you might want to make these circles bigger or keep them small. Depends on your knees, depends on your body. And by the way, if you were sitting before, you're definitely on the ground now. You want to be rooted to the earth. Switch directions of those circles. They can be small, they can be dramatic. You can really come forward with the heart and really reach back. Make this organic, these movements. And then we'll slowly come to stop, finding your center. Release your knees, float hands up to the sky. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale, come over to the right. We're going to come over to the right for a nice side bend. Reach up and over, ground down through your hips. That opposite left hip, and relax the left shoulder away from the earth. That's it. Full breath in and out. Inhale, rise up. Well, we're going to take that left hand or right hand now behind us. So bring it behind you. And then maybe lean back as you reach a little bit back, opening in the pectoral muscle here. Opening up that chest. Inhale, exhale, reach around a big imaginary ball. So you want to reach around that big beach ball, look under your armpit. Inhale. Open the chest, open the pectoral muscles, and exhale, reach around that big beach ball. Last time, inhale, open. And exhale, reach around. So you always want to make sure this works through your body. You can always skip these movements. Come back to center. Let's do the left side. Planting first on the left with your left hand. Right arm comes up and we'll reach over. Soften the shoulder away from your ear. Root down through that right hip into the earth. Full breath in and out. Inhale to rise up. Take your left hand now behind you. And then open and spin that chest, the pectoral muscles up to the sky. Exhale, reach around a big imaginary beach ball looking under the armpit. Inhale to open. Spinning up. Exhale, reach around. And final time, inhale up. And reach around. Finding your center here. Let's lean back and stretch one leg out at a time. So your feet can be, hip width apart, and we're going to find our sit bones again. Now I find sitting up straight, it's really helpful to have that folded blanket under your sit bones. And you can even grab your pillow to sit on here. But we want to find our sit bones here and stretch those feet out, hip width apart. Now we're going to reach behind and see if it's easy to grab the ground. And we want to bring our fingertips in the earth. If it isn't, that's where that pillow is really handy to push into it. So as you push your fingertips down into that pillow or earth, we're going to sit up tall, shoulders back, draw belly in, chin towards the chest, and flex those toes back. Staff pose. Exhale, plant your palms down on the pillow or the floor and point the toes as you slouch, rounding the spine. Inhale, sit up tall. I want you to imagine you're rooting through the heels into the space. Shoulders back, and then exhale, plant the palms and point the toes. Inhale, sit up tall, pushing into the fingertips, sit up tall. That's it. Shoulders back. Exhale, plant the palms, point the toes. Inhale, push into the fingertips, sit up tall, chin slightly tucks, neck is long. Exhale, plant palms and point. Perfect. And now from here, we're going to bend one knee at a time and stretch our legs out. So when we stretch our legs out in yoga, and you might want to get rid of the blanket now, you want to find your max. And if this doesn't feel comfortable for your knees, it just means some support is needed. You can take a rolled up blanket, or perhaps a book or blocks, whatever you have behind the back, the legs, or just do what you can with your space. Pillows are fantastic under the knees too. We're going to keep our arms straight, and we're going to come down with straight arms. So it might be up here with straight arms, might be a little farther. Find where your body can find its edge. And an edge is not too much, but not too little. It's just right. We're riding it where we feel sensation, but it's not painful. There's no numbness. There's no pain. There's no tingling. Looking down at the earth, keeping the back of the neck long. Breathing into the back of your legs, into the groin area. One more time. And then slowly backing off. Lean back to bend the knees one at a time. Then we'll make our ways to all fours. So first thing we want to do is support the knees. Get your blanket, double it, and then bring your knees below the hips. Second thing you want to check is how are our wrists, our hands. Hands below shoulders. If that's painful, we want to come on a supported pillow with open palms. If you are on the ground, it just needs a little help, you can also come into fists. So with hands below shoulders, knees below hips, we're going to bend in the elbows and start to curl our tailbone, maybe looking forward into cow pose. Exhale, curl tail under. So tailbone in, belly button to spine, chin to chest, into cat. So find your rhythm, inhaling into cat and cow. Your full breath out. And we're really focusing on the inhales, the sound of the inhale in, and the exhale out. Now this focus on breath is extremely helpful for anxiety. Full breath in, full breath out. Keep focusing on those inhales and exhales. And finding a neutral spine. We're going to look down at our hands. If your hands are still in the pillow, you might want to come on the ground now. Index fingers are going to be parallel with each other, curl toes under. And we're coming into downward facing dog. So send your hips up and back, your feet are hip width apart. This is this very beneficial pose and the second pose of focus for depression and anxiety. This pose, downward dog. If it's not working for your body, you can do some more cat and cows. If you're in downward facing dog, push into the knuckles to bring your heart closer towards the thighs. Broaden the shoulders, let your head hang. There's no tension in the neck. Beautiful. Now start to bend your right knee and stretch your left heel back. And then bend your left knee and stretch your right heel back and switch back and forth. Now what this does is bring blood to the head, circulation down. And sometimes bringing that extra mental focus, the circulation to the brain, can help us focus on what our body needs and what it doesn't need, what is truth and what isn't truth. So bringing that circulation straight to the head. As we come into that mantra again, I invite greater mental health into my body. Now come back to all fours. From here, let's reach back for the back of our right thigh. We're going to slowly step the right foot forward. Now we want to reach now for our 2 blocks that we placed up at the top of our mat. And we're going to place them on either side of the mat. Then roll up into a nice lunge. So the back knee is still supported. Front knee is above your ankle. And we'll bring the hands interlaced on top of the thigh or hands stacked, shoulders back. Now you want to find stability in this pose. So it might mean bringing your foot closer to that back knee. Once you're stable, back toes curled under helps too. We'll drop our hands and bring our right hand to the right hip, left arm floats up, and think about slicing through a piece of cake. And then we'll reach over towards that right hand on the hip, stretching from that left kneecap all the way up through the fingertips. Getting into your hip flexor muscles, being gentle here with yourself. Full breath in, full breath out. Let's reach that left arm up and then right arm floats up to join it. Inhale here, exhale, bend at the elbows and lift through the heart, looking up if that's available. And then exhale, reach up, inhale, reach. Exhale, bend at the elbows, maybe looking up, a gentle chest opener without injuring the back. Inhale, reach up, look forward. Exhale, bend, looking up, chest opener. Last time, inhale, reach up, looking forward. Exhale, bending in the elbows. Now look up. Now keep looking up, and now I want you to look forward again, keeping your elbows bent. Take your right elbow under left, finding eagle arms. So you twist again at the wrist, back of hands may touch, or grab opposite elbows. All 3 are different versions, and there's no better. It's just what works. Begin to draw belly button towards the spine, reaching tall through the crown, and then inhale to the back of the heart. Now clearing the chest is very important for anxiety and depression. So we want to think about a big breath into the back of the heart. And then exhale out through the mouth. Releasing the pent up emotions in there. 2 more breaths like that. Full breath in, full breath out. 1 more time in. And then exhale, unwind those arms, float them up to the sky. Bring right hand back to hip. And then we're slowly going to take that left arm, reaching forward and grab the block you have there on the left and place it right below your left shoulder. Plant the palm down. So this might be 1 book as well. Slowly begin to twist inwards towards the inner right thigh. So this is a great place to stay. Wonderful for the low back, wonderful for the digestive tract. If you want to do more and it feels like you're energetic today, curl toes under and lift your back knee. Still want to do more? Float your arm up. And I want you to look to the side or look up, whatever your neck is happy doing. Keep your breath flowing and energy charging forward. 1 more inhale. Full breath out, lower the knee, bring your hand back to the hip, looking down at the ground. We're going to reach with our right hand to grab that other block. Find your blocks in the highest height, our books all the way stacked up, and find the same height on both blocks. We're going to slide the blocks back so that we bring our back hip above the knee and scooch those right toes forward. We'll walk blocks either side of that right knee as we scooch with those right toes, and then begin to draw the toes back as you lean forward. Think about that right hip moving back as your body bows forward. Flexing the right toes back will make this pose intensified. Breathing in through the nose. Thinking of being mindful and gentle with your body as you invite in that greater sense of mental health into the body. And then look at your big right toe. Slide the right heel back first, then bend the knee right above the ankle. Walk the blocks forward and then off to the side. We'll bring our hands now on the inside of that right foot onto the ground. Now scooch right foot back until you're back into all fours. Hands below shoulders. Index fingers parallel. Curl toes under. Draw belly in and up towards the spine and send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Feet hip width apart. Push into the hands, broaden the shoulders, let your head hang. This is that fantastic pose to help with mental clarity, to help with anxiety, to help with the depression. Hanging out in downward dog as you pedal your legs. And then we'll make our way back to all fours. Reach for the back of your left thigh this time, stepping that foot forward, rolling up into a low lunge on this side. Left knee is right above the ankle, so you might want to scooch it back so it's easier for your body. You want to go for ease and mobility. This is a very strong pose, so feel solid and strong. I'm stable, I'm rooted, nothing can uproot me. Draw belly in. You can interlace your hands on top of the thigh or stack the hands, shoulders back, looking forward. You have a block on either side of your mat. Now release your hands, left hand to hip, right arm floats up. Remember, you're slicing through that piece of cake, and then come over to lean just gently towards that hand on your hip as you stretch from the right kneecap through to the fingertips. Getting to your hip flexors, maybe your psoas muscle. And then inhale to come up. Exhale, floating other arm up, both hands reach for the sky. Inhale and exhale, bend at the elbows, lift through the heart, looking up if it's available. Inhale to reach. Look forward, exhale, bend at the elbows to look up. Gentle lift, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the elbows, look up. Last time, inhale, reach. Exhale, bend at the elbows, hold the elbows where they are, keep looking up. Now look forward and bring your left arm this time under right. Eagle arms on this side. Perhaps back of hands touch. Maybe you hold opposite elbows, draw belly in, but keep your elbows at shoulder height. Inhale to the back of the heart. Explore all those spaces anxiety hides, and then exhale through the mouth. Releasing. Inhale in. Full breath out. One more time. Breathing in, full breath. Exhale to release through the mouth. Unwind your arms. Full breath. Reach up with the hands. Left hand back to the hip. Right hand slices into that cake forward. We're going to reach for that block now on our right. Bring it on the lowest height under our right shoulder. And palm is spread on the block or book. Draw belly in, twist inwards to the inner left thigh. Hand stays on the hip. This is a fantastic place to stay. Or you want to challenge ourselves today, you can float your arm up, curl toes under and lift your knee up. You can keep your hand on the hip if that's easier. Gazes to the side or up. Spread those fingers, reaching. Crown reaches forward energetically. Find your breath. The breath is what grounds you. Nothing can uproot you. One more inhale. And exhale to lower the back knee. If it was lifted, we're going to look down to the ground and then reach that left arm up and over and grab our blocks. We're going to find them on the highest height, both. And then from here, slide the blocks back to find your back hip stacked over the knee. And we'll scooch our left toes forward until we find a spot where we can draw the toes back. Now, blocks can crawl forward on either side of that left knee, but we always want our knee micro bent. We never want to lock it back. So micro bent knee, draw belly in, and then any amount bowing forward. Think of energetically you're drawing back in that left hip socket. Curl those left toes back to really wake up this pose. Full breath in and out. Getting into the hamstrings. And often anxiety stems from a place of not feeling safe. So when we stretch out our legs, our hamstrings into the heels, that really helps with that feeling of safety, of being rooted. Look up at your big left toe, drag the heel back first, and then bend your left knee over the ankle, walking your blocks forward. We're going to get rid of the blocks on the side of our mats and both hands on the inside of that left foot. Walk your foot back. And then come to all fours. So your blocks are just off to the side, out of the way. We're going to walk our knees back off our blanket off to the side. Walk your knees back again, and then walk your hands forward so that you can bring your shoulders over the wrists. You're on your knees for support. Draw belly in, and I want you with control to lower down to the ground with your elbows in. So I'm going to show you 3 different back bends. We're first going to start with a baby back bend. Hands beside the heart, elbows come in. Find the tops of your feet on your mat. Push into the tops of feet to lift your kneecaps. Now push into the hands to peel the head up. Chin still tucked. This is baby cobra. Your belly's down, your tummy's down. Even your rib cage and your chest is still touching the mat. You're just coming up slightly. Very good for the low back strengthening. Exhale to release. Your nose touches the mat and your forehead, so neutral spine. Anytime you need to rest, come down. The second back bend is a cobra. So you're going to push into the tops of feet, lift your kneecaps, push into your hands, come a little higher. So elbows stay in, shoulders away from the ears, chin towards the chest. Now lift the kneecaps, chin looks down, eyes is down, but you're coming a little higher. And then release. And the third back bend, you're going to get ready for it. Actually, let's rest first. Take a little break first, because the third back bend is the biggest one. We're going to just bring our hands forward under the head, stacked. Elbows out to the side. Now, you might not be comfortable for a gentleman to swish here, but maybe swishing hips side to side, if that feels okay. Or just staying in stillness. So the grounding energy of the earth, just laying on the ground, is really good for the nervous system and helping the body feel safe and grounded. So relax fully here. Take a full breath in and out. And now we'll come to prepare for that big back bend. If this doesn't feel good for your body, don't do it. Do one of the baby cobras or a full cobra. We'll bring our hands first beside the chest, elbows come in. Keep looking at the ground, keep your neck long. Now begin to push in the tops of the feet. Draw the core in. Draw the core towards the spine. Ignite that and awake that core as you push into your hands and lift yourself up. Now hips slightly down, shoulders back, and you're going to come, this is upward facing dog. Looking down slightly. And then you're thinking a long line from the head to the toes. Now lower to the knees. That's it. Lower to the mat. Very good. Curl toes under. Now push up to bring your knees wide. Big toes touch. Sit back into a child's pose. So you feel that beautiful back bend. Great chest opener. And your forehead can touch the mat. Stacking your fists below the right between the eyebrows is also an option. Or hips lifted above the knees, elbows wide, hands stacked. You can have your hands towards the ground or cupping the forehead, whatever works for your relaxing pose. And here's another pose for depression, anxiety, child's pose. Often you just have time for one pose. At the end of the day, maybe you're dealing with chronic stress. Perhaps depression has been coming up more and more for you, or perhaps anxiety is just rearing its head constantly. If you only have time for one pose, this is your pose right here, child's pose. Find the version that works for your body and breathing in a way that's natural for you. This pose is great for the nervous system, for the spine, for your digestive system, and reminds your body that you are rooted to this earth. And think of this mantra: the earth supports and grounds me. The universe has my back. So as the earth supports the front of your body, the universe has your back. Breathing that in. Now we'll slowly lift our heads up here. If you need to stay longer, feel free. Coming to all fours. With your knees below hips, hands below shoulders, find the index fingers parallel, curl toes under. Downward facing dog, send your hips up and back. Bend the knees, look forward, tiptoe to walk to the front of your mat with your feet hip-width apart. We're going to come into the forward fold, which is extremely beneficial for your anxiety, depression, OCD, for your mental health. This pose is fantastic. And if our hamstrings are tight, simply bend the knees. Bring your chest and thighs towards each other. You can bend the knees, no problem. Now grab opposite elbows and hang. This is very good for your gut, your intestines, for digestion. Fantastic for cramps. For women, fantastic for perimenopause, for menopause, postmenopause. Let the head go, dangle, and the breath is normal. Release the arms, and we're going to sit back into chair pose. So imaginary chair. If your body's tired, bring your hands on your thighs to support, or else reach up. Sink back into the hips, shins move back in space, and then inhale to reach up and stand in a standing pose, reaching for the sky. Coming into palm tree pose, feet are hip-width apart, open up the hands to reach like you are a palm tree. Chin slightly down, neck is long. Bring your hands together and then exhale, bring them to the heart. And release the hands. So that idea of grounding, which helps us when you have depression or anxiety, we want to find a grounded pose. So tree pose, feet are hip-width apart. The important thing here is to find focus. So find a focal point you can really focus the gaze on as you open your palms. Hands come to hips. Draw belly in, so engaging the spine. Shift your weight now into that left standing leg as you bring your right heel to rest against that leg. Sometimes this is where our body needs to stay, this first stage. Perhaps you want to come below the knee joint. Keep your focus, keep your core engaged. Or maybe today you're coming above the knee. If you're above the knee, slide that left inner thigh into that foot, finding that engagement. Hands come to heart center, shoulders back. Anytime you come out, come back in. Keep your core engaged. If you're coming more tree, reach up the center and open your branches out. Even smile to your face. The earth supports and grounds me. The universe has my back. I invite greater mental health into my body. And then bring your hands to the heart center. From here, bend your standing leg. However that right knee is, you're going to slowly float the right knee up, so out to the side and then up. Take a nice big step back behind you with that right foot coming on the ball of your back foot. So keep your heel lifted behind you. You're on the ball of the back right foot. Release your hands. And then slowly with your front knee bend, we're going to bring our arms up, high lunge. Nice stretch up through the hip flexors, up through the hands. Inhale and then exhale. Plant your back foot down to parallel and open the arms. So your back foot is parallel with the back of your mat. Front left knee is over your ankle. That's it. Reach your fingertips back. From here, open your front palm. So knee is right over your ankle. Open your front palm. Exhale, exalted warrior. Your back hand comes onto the leg gently, looking up or down the armpit. Big breath in. Exhale, bend your front elbow, coming to rest on the top of that thigh. Drop your arm first as you swing it up and back into the socket. Side angle pose. You can look down at your big toe or sideways. Find the breath here. Full breath in and out. Exhale back to warrior two. Swing your arms. Now listen carefully here. This is a transition. We're going to take our back hand and windmill back to the ground. You can either bring your knee down or step straight back into plank. If that's not available today, knee down and scooch that front foot back until we're all in plank. Now lower to the knees. Lower down with control with your hands beside the heart. Now your back bend of choice. I'm going to guide you to upward facing dog again. So hands beside the heart, core engaged. Push into the tops, feet coming up, pushing up. Powerfully, let your hips down, shoulders back, looking forward, maybe even looking up. Full breath in, full breath out. Come to your knees. Push back with your hips towards your heels. Big toes touch, knees wide, child's pose. Forehead can be down on the mat or stacking fists below the forehead, or hips lifted, elbows wide, hips above the knees. Whatever version of child's pose that works. Full breath in, full breath out. Remember that earth below supporting and the universe having your back. Release all tension in your face. And yoga is very beneficial for the body when we're going through depression or anxiety because it creates serotonin in the brain. So you might notice every time you do this class, you just feel better. So coming to all fours, take your time to get there. Hands below shoulders, knees below hips. Index fingers parallel, curl toes under, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Feet are hip width apart. Broaden your shoulders, let your heart come towards your thighs. Bend the knees, look forward, tiptoe, forward fold. Remember, these poses are all on purpose for helping you with what your body is going through so your body can reset. Chair pose, sink back, arms up or on the thighs, and then inhale to rise. Palms together, and then we'll bring our palms out again. Palm tree pose, shoulders back, feet hip width apart. Gazes forward. Inhale again. Exhale, palms to touch. Bring them to the heart. And then to the sides. Finding tree pose at the top of your mat. First we find our feet. Shrug your shoulders up and back and open through the palms. This is Tadasana, mountain pose. Draw the core in. Hands to hips. Now left side, so send your weight into that right standing leg as the core's engaged and slide the right heel to rest. First stop is great. Stay here today if that's where your pose is. Perhaps it's below the knee. Perhaps it's above the knee. Find the version that's working for you today. That's it. Now bring that muscle of that right inner thigh into that foot as you bring your hands to heart center. Yes, beautiful. Remember, you are rooted through that foot. Perhaps today you might be able to trace up your midline and open up your branches. Every day is so different. So you see how today is for tree. When you're ready, big breath in, exhale, palms to the heart again. With control, gently bending that standing leg so you can slide right foot, left foot down and left foot up. Don't bring it down yet. Take that left foot back, a big step on the ball of that back left foot. Release your arms and inhale, float the arms up. High lunge, reach up, gaze is forward, chin is slightly tucked, neck is long. Breathing here, great hip flexor stretch. Inhale, exhale, plant your back foot down, open up, warrior two. Pinkies are really reaching to the sides. Your back foot is now parallel with the back of your mat and heel to arch or heel to heel alignment. Front knee right over your ankle. Very good. Now look forward. Draw your core in. Inhale, open your front palm, exalted warrior. Back hand just rests here. You can look up to the sky or down the armpit. Full breath in, full breath out. And then exhale, bend at that elbow coming into side angle pose. Resting on the thigh, drop that top arm and then swing it up and back and slide it into that socket. Palm towards the earth. You can look sideways or down. Your big toe is very good for a focal point. And then slowly coming back up, warrior two. This is our transition. Back hand. It's going to windmill around to the earth. Palms down, stepping back into plank. However you got there is fine. Knee can come down. You can scoot your foot slowly. Once you're in plank, lower to your knees. Lower down to the mat. Hands beside the heart. Your choice. You can come into that baby cobra, or pushing the tops of the feet. Coming up powerfully, upward facing dog, shoulders back. Gaze is forward or up. Your thighs are lifted. Now come to your knees and then send your hips towards your heels, knees wide, at least shoulder width apart, child's pose again. Full breaths in and out. Great job. Releasing here in the child's pose that's working for your body. Perhaps it's hips above the knees, elbows wide, hands stacked. Perhaps that's knees wide, knuckles, hands on top of each other. Perhaps it's reaching forward and finding space in the rib cage, lengthening out the back. You're finding the version that your body can rest, that you can reconnect with that grounding feeling. The earth supports me. The universe has my back. I invite greater mental health into my body. Breathe that in and out. Focusing on the breath. If you need to stay in child's pose, stay, or just gently, I want you to look up and locate where your pillow and your blanket and your blocks are, and then we'll just make our way to all fours. And we can crawl closer to our pillows and blankets because I want you to bring them in reaching distance to yourself. Back from all fours, hands below shoulders. We're going to take our back right knee and slide it between the hands. And then slowly slide your left knee back, finding pigeon pose. The first thing you'll notice is that my foot is tucked under the body and the toe is either pointed or flexed. Now this is safer for that knee in the front. We want to find leveled out hips so you can rock back and forth here. This is where it's nice to have a maybe rolled up blanket under that right hip. Perhaps it's a block that's more stable and helpful. So find what helps you here. There's another version if this just doesn't work for your knees and for your body. You just come onto that right hip. You swing your back left leg forward. Come back so that you're sitting with your legs out and then bend that right knee, flex the toes back and bring it above the left kneecap to bend the knee and come up into reverse pigeon. So another version, your choice on which one is better for you to do. You can even just take that leg extended and bend and find that shape of a pigeon here. It's really what your body, what's available for it. Now we're gonna, if you have a pillow, it's nice to come down on a pillow or bolster on the forearms, but you don't need to. You can stay here in a nice lifted pigeon, chin slightly tucked. It's important to find how your body wants to hold a shape and what's available. Can you find softness in the face, in the shoulders? And often our hips store emotion. So full breaths through the nose into your hip and out through the mouth. Only if that feels okay for you. Bringing the focus back to your inhales and exhales to the breath. This helps to calm the body, calm our nervous system. When you feel ready, slowly coming up with a head, bringing ourselves up. Nice lift up here into a nice proud pigeon. And then I'll walk you through first with this version when your knees under your body. You're going to come to your right hip and then gently swing that left leg all the way up and around, and it's going to cross the left foot on the outside of the right thigh. So for you, like this. Yes, very good. So sitting up nice and tall here, you can hug that knee in. Then from here, we're going to slowly float right arm up Bend at the elbow and hook that right elbow on the outside of that left thigh. Now, if that's too much, hug the knee in instead. From here, fingertips behind you, sitting up tall, we're going to come into a twist. So if you did this version, you can take just that bottom leg and tuck in that left heel and come into your twist. Or perhaps whatever leg was extended, we're taking, you can even come to twist with the legs straight. Same difference. You're just coming into twist with the leg out. You're getting that beautiful twist. One more inhale. And a full breath out, coming to center. Lean back here to step that top foot over first and then lift your bottom leg out, stretching both legs out in front of you. Find your sit bones. This is where our folded up blanket might be a nice wedge to sit on, perhaps a pillow. You'll know, your body will tell you if it's kind of like a, oh, that feels better, then do it. So find your sit bones as your legs are stretched out. Gently float your arms up, inhale, and exhale with the palms open into a very passive forward fold. There's no pulling, there's no trying to get further because your spine is very rounded. You're slouching down. This reminds us on our bodies that we are safe. You're rooted to this space and nothing can uproot me. Relaxing your feet, relaxing your hands. Come back to focus on the breath, the inhale and the exhale. One more time. Big breath out. And then inhale to slowly make your way up. Head over the heart. We're going to lean back, bend our knees one at a time, roll onto all fours. Take your time to get there, walking your body to all fours. Hands below shoulders, knees below hips, curl toes under, index fingers parallel. Send your hips up and back for your last downward facing dog of this practice. Notice how different it feels than the first one. Just noticing. You can stretch one heel back at a time again, stretching the back of your legs. And then we'll come to all fours. This time now the left knee slides between the hands. Right knee slides back. We're going to do pigeon on this side. So we want that foot under the body. So toes pointed or flexed. And we're going to just gently rock side to side until you find level hips, as level as you can for your body. This is where it might be helpful to have a block under one side to help, or a pillow or a folded up blanket. And then you can find your version. Maybe you're coming forward onto your pillows. Nice pose too is to use your block on your head. You're going to pillow and block. And if you're doing the other version, you just come onto that left hip, swing your back leg around, and then you extend the right leg straight and the left knee bent. And that left ankle is right above the right knee. And you can just stay here, finding this shape, this pigeon shape, and holding. If you want to come further, recline pigeon, bend the knee. Keep your foot flexed though. Whether your foot is under you or you're on top, your foot is flexed. And if it's under, you can point it too. So find your version. Full breaths in and out. Breathing through the nose into your hips. Release the tension in your jaw, in your face, in your throat. Release the tension in the eyes. When you feel ready, slowly lift your head up. Take your time. If you're down on that full pigeon, coming up into your fingertips, lift through the heart. We're going to remove any pillows that we used or props and then come down to that hip as we swing our right leg nice and slow. Lean back, right leg comes all the way up and around. Cross on the outside of that left thigh. If you were on your back here, that foot that you had up, you can just extend right leg straight here and then plant that foot down. And you can have a twist with the leg extended or lean to one side to bend the knee under. Your choice. So make sure that you're doing the other side, whatever version you're doing. That top arm can come up, bend, so left elbow bends, and we hook it around the thigh to come into a twist. Or hug the knee in. Keeping your spine nice and long and whatever twist version you're doing that feels good for you. One more time. And then slowly coming back to center. Uncross your top leg first. And then lean back, other leg out. We're going to look around us for our props. First, grab blanket. Unroll the tassel side to go away from you. At least one fold. Pillow comes to your side. Close to grab it. We're going to slide down to find the mat by sliding onto one hip, right or left, doesn't matter, and roll onto your back. Going to bring your knees towards your chest and give yourself a hug. This is actually child's pose on your back, so very soothing and very good for bloating, for the digestive tract, for the spine. You can rock a little bit. And then we're going to bring our knees, our feet back to the mat, so the knees can be above the heels, and bring your arms to stretch straight out to the sides at the shoulder height, palms up, like a T, or palms, elbows bent, palms up. So your choice. We're going to do a shorter twist here. So we're going to push into our feet, lift our hips slightly, and then slide left hip under, left hip slides under, and let your knees fall to the left. This is where you can grab that pillow on either side. You can put it between the knees or under the knee if you need it. Relax your shoulder into the mat. You can also, if that shoulder's not touching it, you can reach behind the back of your head and grab the blanket instead to roll it up under your shoulder, or the pillow to come under the shoulder. Inhale to lift your head up and then look in the opposite direction of those knees, or the same direction, or find center. Stay where you're at. Full breath in and out. This is fantastic for your nervous system. This brings balance and the equilibrium back into the body, inviting in mental wellness and greater mental health. Take 3 breaths in and out, in and out. Inhale to bring your head back to center. Full breath out. Reaching down for one knee. We're going to lift just one knee up to center as we slowly begin to slide our back under to open our knees both out to the sides. Feet are going to be together for a little recline butterfly. If your arms are out to the sides or bent, you're going to just bring your hands above your head, grabbing your elbows, or hands can rest on the rib cage. Full breath in, full breath out. Full breath in, full breath out. Release your elbows, bring your hands to your knees, and bring those knees to center. We're going to slowly bring the soles of our feet back to the mat, finding your knees towards your chest, a little hug. Bring your knees towards the chest any way. You can hug or you can just grab the back of the thighs. Release the feet back down, arms to a T. Push into your feet to lift your hips slightly, slide right hip under, then let your knees fall to the right. Elbows can be bent to the sides or stretched out. We're going to inhale, lift our head, and look in the same or opposite direction to our knees. You have a pillow on either side, so you can grab that pillow and bring it between the knees or supporting the bottom leg for your recline twist. Or you might not need any pillows, but go onto a place of comfort. You might want to use the blanket behind your head as support under that left shoulder if it's lifting. You want to feel supported, both shoulders relaxed down. Full breath in, full breath out. Releasing completely into the mat. The earth is supporting you fully. You can release. When you feel ready, full breath in, full breath out. Full breath in, full breath out. And final time, full breath in. As you exhale, lift your head back to center if you looked either side. We're going to reach one hand down and help our knees back to center. This time, right away, bring your knees towards your chest. You can grab hands to knees and draw circles one way and the other. You can hug the knees in for one last hug. And then you're going to reach and find that pillow and toss it behind the back of the legs. Reach up for the blanket, or you might need to bring it back under your head, but you want to roll in the sides, the bottom sides, hug the neck, give it a squeeze, and roll the top edges in to wrap the head. Now extend the legs straight down. Open the palms up. You're going to slide one shoulder blade under and then the other. Think the shoulders supporting the back of the heart, chin slightly tucked. Shavasana, your final resting pose, which is our final pose to help with your mental health. This pose is very beneficial for the body. We are grounded to the earth. We are supported by the universe. And every single pose is being integrated into your body, and our focus is the breath. Inhale in, full breath out. Inhale in, full breath out. You're breathing in a way that's natural for you. Full breath in, full breath out. Keep your focus on the breath as you release completely, and the feet fall apart. Soften the knees, soften the thighs, relaxing the hips. Relax your hands, your wrists, elbows. Release your shoulders completely. Relax the head. Head is heavy. Eyes are heavy in the sockets. Let them relax into the head. If your body needs to rest longer, give yourself permission to rest. If you're coming back, full breath in through the nose. Feeling the breath in their whole body. And full breath out. Again, like that inhale in. Feel the breath in your whole body. And a full breath out. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Breathing normally. Bend one knee at a time. Push away that pillow. And then roll to the side. Bring your knees right up towards your chest. Rolling on the side like a little ball. Remembering like your little pearl inside a clam. Every pearl is unique and different. Just like you are unique and different than anyone who has been on this planet and anyone who will ever come. You are precious to this universe, and the universe has your back. Place your hand on the mat. Inhale and exhale. Push yourself up to sit. Now, if it's more comfortable to sit on a couch, again, you can bring yourself up, or a chair. Perhaps it's more comfortable on a pillow or on the ground, wherever you are. We're going to start and end the same. So palms down, shoulders back. Remember this, grounded down through the sit bones and reaching up tall through a straight, strong spine. I invite greater mental health into my body. Open your palms up and reach out to that mantra. Inviting it in. Exhale, hands together to the heart. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.